Now, the Parliamentary Committee on Defence and the Border Management Authority will be assessing operations at the border with Zimbabwe. Illegal immigration and the smuggling of illicit goods are the main challenges at the border. SABC News reporter Pimani Baloyi is there. Pimani, good morning. So this is an ongoing story. It's a long-standing problem. And of course, it's all good and well to have another in loco inspection of that border crossing. But I suppose most people want to know what is going to be done. You've had opportunity. I saw your interview yesterday with one of the members of Parliament, Malusi Gigaba. So what are they saying? What is the plan going forward to actually address the problems at the border post?
Good morning, Sakina, and good morning to our viewers. As you rightfully stated, this is not the first oversight visit to this port of entry. And as you rightfully stated, yesterday we were able to speak to Malusi Gigaba, who is the co-chairperson of this Joint Standing Committee on Defence. And mostly what he said is, you know, Malusi has worked, Gigaba has worked as Home Affairs minister at some point, and he spoke at length that it appears the biggest source of this problem that ensures that there is not sufficient security personnel manning this port of entry and others is the fact that there has been a cut down of the allocation, the annual allocation budget for the SANDF, stating that at the end of this, of all of this, they're going to compile a report that will be taken to the Department of Defense, but also to Parliament and the SANDF, advocating for an increase in the allocation that is given to the SANDF, the BMA and other stakeholders that work in ensuring that there is safety and security on this port of entry. But you know what, Sakina, we are currently coming to you from in front of that gate of the port of entry, and our hope was that we're going to get reaction. What do people who hope Parliament would know as Parliament is here about, you know, challenges faced here? But on record, none of the people, you can imagine there's a hive of economic activity, people who offer transport services, people who offer food for people who are traveling here, but also your travelers themselves, as well as long distance truck companies. All of them were able to tell us off record that, you know, they wish there could be more resources allocated here. There could be more police officers and soldiers stationed here, ensuring that, you know, there is safety, because there's a high rate of crime here. But they are aware that it seems there are challenges with the resources. On record, they were unable to tell us this, but their biggest wish is that also the illegality, specifically people who work in the taxi industry, saying they have seen a decline of passengers coming to them because passengers complain that once they get inside the port of entry, they are asked to declare if they have cash on them, and some of the cash is confiscated by authorities, calling that there are, you know, consequence management systems to ensure that people who work in the port of entry, if they do conduct corruption, there's action taken against them, and that this is kept. So the wish is that Parliament should figure out what are some of the things that are not going right here and come up with systems that will ensure that this is kept. And we do know that Parliament will be hearing from authorities that work within that port of entry at about 9 o'clock at the Messina Municipal Council, and at the end of it we'll be able to speak to them to gather what was their impression and what would be the way forward, Sakina.
Indeed, Pimani Baloyi, and of course, with the Border Management Authority coming in as a new entity to bring about a new dawn, so to speak, in that regard, it's going to be interesting to hear what is being said and what that particular report contains.